What's up, guys? We're back here, Eve Echoes, and so now it's 9 days. We just got the 9-day login reward, so it's been playing out for 8 days total, and our experience with Eve Echoes has definitely changed dramatically over those days. If you watch the very first video of Eve Echoes, like, what the hell is this? What's going on? The very beginning, the tutorial of this game is incredibly bad. They shouldn't have launched the game with that kind of tutorial, with how many systems that are in this game and like the complexity. So the funny thing is that this game is very simple, yet it's very complex. So let's jump into the topic of this video, though. It's going to be skills, and this is something that you realize fairly soon in the game is like, oh, you're always chasing the next kind of skill. So you click on skills, you go to skills, and there's 8 different categories that you can focus on. You're going to level them up with real time. You do want to get the Omega, and then you want to buy the neurochips as well, as many skill things as possible to get more skill points, because more skill points makes you stronger. So you're going to want to focus and specialize in one thing. And this is the very first time that I played Eve, any Eve version at all. So this is Eve Echoes, my first jump into it. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. So at first, I thought I was doing pretty well. I was like, okay, I'm building up shield, I'm building up frigates, because I heard frigates are good. And then I got a destroyer. Destroyer's stronger than the frigate. Oh, now I'm on cruiser. Like, I had no idea. So, I maxed out the frigate command there. Just making tons and tons of newbie mistakes that are horrible. They waste tons of skill points that you're never going to get back. So it's wasting a day for this frigate command. The frigate command I'm never going to use on this account. It's just stupid. But when you start the game out, you have a frigate. And you're like, oh, cool, the frigate. Yeah, we're using the frigate. Within a day, less than a day, you go to the destroyer. Maybe it's a day and a half. You go to the destroyer. They give you a free destroyer. And you're like, cool, now I'm on the destroyer. Yeah, I'm going to use this. And then it's about 5 days into the game. Then they give you a cruiser. And you're like, ooh, cruiser, so strong. And I'm sure that's going to be the next step as well once we get up to the battle cruiser and things like that. But when you look at the prices of these things, so we can check out the market. And this is part of the reason why my opinion of the game has changed, is that I'm all about the economy and the market. And this game has a really robust, really amazing economy. So I love the economy aspect of this game. I love the buying and selling, the merchants. This is kind of paradise almost. Like, you can make a ton of money just by flipping items, by transporting items, and doing things like that. So let's click over on ships and take a look at all the ships here. First up, you want to click on the very top right here, this filter. And you want to click it so it says all items, so you can see every single item there is in the game. So we're looking at ships. So like, if you look at frigates, you can see all the frigates in the game currently. And so again, we're not going to use any of the frigates, but in the bottom right hand corner there is a Roman numeral. So you can see 5, you can see 7, and that's the skill level, the tech level required to use those ships. So in order to use a breacher assault, you have to be tech level 7, and that is approximately going to take like 3 weeks of having the Omega Alpha, the premium stuff, to get to tech level 7. So, and it goes progressively longer and harder to get. So like, to get to tech level 8, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's probably going to be a month or so, maybe 2 months to get tech level 8. And then to get tech level 9, it's probably going to be 6 months. So then tech level 10 is probably going to be a year. Like, that's progressively how long this expansion goes. So like, you realistically don't want to be looking at any of the tech level 8, 7, 10 ships, because you're not going to be using them for months. So that's something that you're like, oh, okay, I realize that. You take a look at the destroyers. This is what you had before. They gave you the trainer stuff. So as you play the game, you realize that the trainer items are kind of like the freebie stuff that they give out, and that they've also seeded the market. So if you click on it, you can see the station here has one for sale. It's 2.5 million. Oh, I thought they did seed this one. I guess not. But there's a lot of the trainer items on the marketplace because people were given them for free from the game. So I think there's no more trainer stuff after Tier 5. So I think the last freebie ship that we get is the Tier 5 ship that you had to be Omega. You had to be the premium service to get. And it was the Caracal Trainer, or I believe like the Mode Trainer. You have an option. You have like 4 ships that you can choose. The Stabber Trainer, the Omen Trainer, the Vexor Trainer, Thorax. Oh, there's a Thorax Trainer. So that's a Tier 6 trainer. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so they did. They seeded all of the trainers. So you can see here, this is in the game. There's quantity 1 billion, and the price is 82 million to buy this. The thing with the trainers is they're weaker than the other ships, but they can be insured for repairs. So when you started the game, you got these repair tickets. And they say they can repair any tech level 3 or lower ship. But these special trainer ships can be repaired for free using these coupons, these insurance coupons, insurance tickets. They cost different amounts. So for example, I believe it was the Tier 4 cost 2 insurance tickets. The Tier 5 ship, if you lost it, it costs 4 to repair it. So assuming the Tier 6 one would probably cost 8 or maybe 10 to repair it. So it's not free, but you do get these tickets for logging in. And that's the only way that we found out to find these tickets. But you can see there's a lot of different ships. And those are just cruisers. Now we go to battle cruisers. And the reason why I say don't really worry about battle cruiser stuff or battleship stuff is because look at the tech level on these things. So it requires tech level 7, tech level 8, and we talked about this earlier. So tech level 7 will be probably like 2 months, maybe so, of playing the game. And then tech level 8 will be like 6 months, maybe, or so, give or take. Like, these are going to be very, very long time gated material ships to use and have. So, like, yeah, you'll have them eventually, but you're not going to be using them for months, maybe even years at certain ships in tech level. So I think one of the biggest things that you want to focus on is either destroyers or cruisers, because you can use most of the cruisers and majority of the destroyers as well. Supposedly, frigates can actually be decent, but if you look at the frigates, they have very low, like, stats capabilities. So they can only hold, this frigate here can hold 3 like primary weapons, the high weapons, 2 mid weapons, and 4 low. So this one has actually decent stats. But when you look at and you compare it to a cruiser that is a tier 4 or tier 5, so tier 5, like this is what we're using right now, and it's a 424. And I believe that was a 313 we just looked at. And this also has a drone slot. Like, just has more flexibility with the equipment that you can put on it. So these right here are like the slots, the item slots that you can equip your ships with. But yeah, so the biggest thing is the skills don't overthink it. You're doing those 1, 2, 3 cruiser, frigates, or destroyers. Figure out which one of them you want to use for the next like 6 months. That is tech level 5 or tech level 6. and then build your account based on that. If you really want to think long term and you're not really going to play the game until like tech level 7, and then I guess maybe you can put all your stuff into the battle cruisers. The next up though, the first and foremost thing that I think is very important is you want to upgrade missiles. Even if you're not, like, so we screwed this up too, because in this account, we're not going to really use small missiles much anymore. We've gone up to using medium missiles. And so we're like, because the cruisers use medium missiles, the frigates and the destroyers use the small missiles, the ones that I was using. And so like, we put a lot of skill points into this tree here. Like, that's a lot of wasted skill points. If we don't ever use small missiles or torpedoes again, it's like we wasted all that skill points that could have been put in to, that could have been put into the medium missiles. Like, so many mistakes. So yeah, so focus on certain things. You will put some skill points. So in the beginning of the game, for the first couple of days, you are going to be required to use a little bit of like the basic missiles, so like small missiles. But we could have stopped at level 3 because 1, 2, 3 is very cheap. 4 is also fairly cheap as well. So like when you click on this right here, you can see, so train time for level 4 for this advanced small missile is only 16 hours. That's not that long of a time. Train time for level 5 is going to be like 100 hours or 120 hours. It's like 4 days. It's a lot of time to invest to do tier 5. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 is all about total takes like 3 hours. So you literally could max out everything. Like we could go in here and we could max out small cannons. So tier 3 is going to take 1 hour and 34 minutes. Like that's not as bad of a mistake to have everything at like level 3 than to have something at level 5 that you're never going to use. So you want to focus and specialize in one thing to make yourself stronger. There's also 2 different types for each, it looks like. So missiles, there's small missile torpedo operation and then small missile torpedo upgrade. They both upgrade roughly the same stats. There's a slight difference on those. So you do want to up them in tangent. So like here we have medium missile torpedoes, and we're upgrading this to level 5. And there's medium missile torpedo / upgrade, but unfortunately it's locked behind tech level 6. So we can't open this yet. We need to wait until we get to level 6. Once we get to level 6, we'll start training that. And we've now decided that our focus is going to be like the long-range missiles. And at tech level 6, what we are going to buy is we're going to buy the Caracol Navy issue. Oh, so nice. So somebody has built them. 2 people have built them. 100 million and 99 million. Not terrible. So the price that they show here is like the recommended price set by the game. It's not an actual price like, hey, this is how much you're going to pay for it. But this is just like the game recommends this. And the thing is, too, is if you're playing this game, you always want to have a skill training. So our skill just finished, and we want to actually queue something up. This is a huge tip for free-to-play players, because if you have no skills queuing, you get a significant reduction in your skill points. So you miss out on a lot of skill points because you didn't have a skill queued. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade this one. Since we got level 5, now you can see we're going to get a lot of nice stats here. And it cost us 2 million to open up the skill, which is very expensive. But it now allows us to train. It's only 21 minutes to train that. And then again, level 2 is only 1 hour and 30 some odd minutes. And at level 3 is still only 9 hours. Level 4 is now very, very long time. It takes 53 hours to do. We're going to go ahead and click on it just so we can have skills filled up in our skill queue so we don't waste any extra time. We are the premium Omega or whatever it is. Like we've bought the VIP subscription thing here, so we don't waste skill points if we don't have something on the queue. But you always want to fill up the skill queue. So skill queue at the bottom, you see the green bar there, you click on it, and that will bring up your skills. Always have skills in there and always have enough skills so in case you don't log in for a day that you have something that's overlaying and you can just like feed your points into there. Again, that's the biggest tip though, is focus on one specific thing. Figure out what tier 5 or tier 6 ship that you want to be using, because you'll be using that ship for months. You'll be using that tier 5, tier 6 ship for a long time. So make sure that you focus on what you're using. And that is the biggest thing that you can do in this game right now. All right, guys, thanks for watching.